Hello and welcome to Framing Engine Tutorial. Today we're going to go over setting up the new framing tool option so that you can utilize it on your site. So this is what I'm talking about. This is just one group that we've created now. When it says a group, that means let's say you're going to do mirrors, it'll be your beveled and standard mirror. If you're going to do frameable boards, that group, it would be your cork board, your chalkboard, your whiteboard. This group that I'm going to show you today we call it photo prints because it has everything to do with uploading a photo, turning it into just a print, turning it into a frame piece, metal print, or a canvas print. So when they are designing it, they can actually select these different options while they're in the design tool itself. So if you log into your admin, the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to go to product options, go down to photo print sizes. This is where everything is going to be handled. These are all the options and everything to set everything up. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create the photo print groups. So you're going to click on photo print groups, you're going to click create new, and then we are just going to, I already have it here so we'll view it here, but you would click new, you would give it a name, call it photo prints. The URL is photo-prints, meaning whatever your address is, .com/photoprints.html will be the URL to get to the page that has all of your options that you have for this group. And then we're going to have the selector options at the top of the page, so the design tool will be underneath it and they can switch to the different options up above. And this is the text that will read on the page, select and customize, and the page title would be create custom wall art. And then we have here, we have checked to hide the style images. So the page that, the links at the top, so let me show you what that means here. So these are your style images. So what happens is once they select this and then they upload their item and they go in, it removes the images off the top so that it doesn't push the real estate down the page. So when they go in here and they select an image to upload, now they can switch to your chroma print, your canvas options. They can switch to each one and never leave the design tool. And if you have your graphics up here, what happens is it ends up pushing this content down the page. So that's why we have it selected here to remove those images. And then you have your choose your style as the title, style select your title, other styles. And then these items we're not going to check because we're going to have more than one option. And you're going to be able to change the image. So you'll click save. Now that you've created the group, the next step would be to add each style that you want to offer in that group, and the style being the metal, the canvas, and those options. So we're going to go to photo print, and then we're going to go to photo print styles. And of course you'll most likely be clicking create new, but we're going to go down here where we already have photo prints. And this is where we create that individual option. So this is where they're just going to upload a photo and print it out. There's no frame options, there's nothing, it's just to print out their piece of art or photo. So if you look here, we call it photo prints, and then we associate it with the group photo prints because that's the image upload group. And then we have it called photo-print. So it would be a hashtag photo-prints to go directly to upload this option. Then you have your page subtitle, which is create photo print. And then this is where we set our rules. So this is where we would set the resolution. Most of our customers will set it at 150 dpi because they can upsize it if they need to, and by putting a smaller resolution in there, it gives more size options for your customers to go bigger and more expensive. So it must have a photo, and then that's all you're really going to select for this one because it's just a photo. And you'll adjust these are the buttons that show up on the bottom. Most likely be deleting these because they become redundant down here. And then you click save, and now people will be able to upload and purchase just a print. So now we're going to go to the style that's for a framed print so that you can see how those settings are created. So we're going to go to frames, and you'll see the name of it is frames, and it's again in the group photo prints, and then we just call it frames. So if you went to www.yourdomain.com/photo-prints.html #frames, it would go directly into this category, which is the framing part for them to upload. This is set at 100, like I said, anywhere 100, 150, must have photo. And then we check the box that says use molding, so it'll allow frames for this product. And then the best option, if you have more than 3 frames you're offering, is button to scroller, and that'll pop open that menu at the bottom. Here, I'll show you here. So when we click select frame, it pops this button to scroller, and then you can scroll through your frames and your different categories down here to put on your piece up here. So that button to scroller is by far the best option because most people have more than 3 frames. So then we go down here, and this is an information pop-up. Will be like a little icon they can click on where you can put information text, or a lot more towards paper than frames, but you can offer that. And then the label will be, the button will be select a frame, will be the beginning label, and then once a frame's selected, it'll change to change frame. And then in the scroller down at the bottom of the page, you can have frame selections or select frame. Then it'll have a remove option. And then the next option we're going to have here is a mat. We want to offer mats on this one. So again, we're going to select button to scroller, so that it has that scroller at the bottom of the page for them to scroll through the different mat options. And then we're going to have a button that says select top mat, and then change top mat, and then top mat options or selections, whatever you want to put. And then the default we're going to put at 2 inches for the top mat. And then it has a remove option. So let's say they put on a mat, they can't find a color like, they can remove it and buy it without a mat. So then we have where it has use second mat, again button to scroller, and then you put select second mat, change second mat options. And then we have the second mat at a 0.25, quarter of an inch. And then it has a remove option again. And then if you have, let's say you only wanted to select certain mats for this medium, you can go in here and select individual mats that you can offer for this style that you're creating. If you don't select any, it's automatically going to just show all of them. And then you can have a third mat if you want to. This one's not set up to use a third mat, but you could offer 3 mats. And then glass options, what we'll do usually for you, click use for glass options, and then what we'll do is normally a drop down, because there's only a handful of items and there's no graphics to put in a scroller, so we just have a drop down selection, and they can select it from that. And you can have your glass label, select glass, change glass. You can have a default glass item that you want them to have. You can have remove if you really want to allow them to remove it. And you can select specific glass to use for this style again. So if you were offering plexiglass for one style and regular glass for another, you can sort it and only offer those. And then there's mounting as kind of a catch-all. So a lot of our customers do offer different types of gator board and stuff to mount different styles on. Or you may offer, standoffs for plexiglass, or you may offer texturing, or you may offer a hanging service. Whatever you offer in here, you can select the different options you want to offer, but they can only pick one. So you couldn't have mounting and hardware. It's either mounting or hardware. It's just one catch-all for anything that you want to offer in these styles. And then again, we'll go down here, we're going to click Save. Now keep in mind, you can have it duplicate sizes when you create your sizes. So what this means is if you enter a size that's 8 by 10, it's automatically going to offer a 10 by 8 to the customer that way. And then free size is where they get to pick from 2 drop downs and create any size they want. You can leave that on if you want to offer that. Then you click Save, and now this style has been added. And then the style, this little thumbnail right here is what you see when we go back here to the photo prints. This row of images here. So this is a little thumbnail for the frame ones. We had a little thumbnail for the photo prints. And so we looked at how to set that one up. We looked at how to set that one up, and you'll be able to see how these will look. You can set these up. So the next step that we're going to do is we have to set up paper types. So for paper types, you first have to create the medium. So this is going to be the different types of canvas that you are going to offer, the different types of photo paper, if you're going to offer different types of metal, or all the different materials will be added here. So here we have art laminate, we have the chroma metal prints, we have fine art paper, we have gallery wrap deep satin. So let's just check on this medium so that you can see how it's set up. So once you, if you're creating up a medium, you'll click create new, and it'll come up with this page here. You'll give it a name, and then you can put in here, add frame, add your glass, add matte, all the options that it can have to the medium you would put in here. And for canvas, you're going to select visualization options, and you're going to put the thickness of the wrap. So we're going to change this to a 1-inch thickness for that wrap. And then you have a gallery, a museum, or a mirror, or a gallery with no size reduction. What it means is, normally when you pick a gallery wrap and you have an 8x10 and you have an inch thick stretcher bar, it's going to take that inch and wrap it around, so it's really going to be a 7x9, so to speak. So if we do gallery wrap in an inch, you're going to see that wrap around there. If you select museum, you can actually give it a color side, so you can have a white side or a black side, and it'll show you what that'll look like in the design tool with that color wrapped around on the side. So for this one, we're going to keep it gallery wrap, and you would click save. And now we created that canvas paper that could be added. So if we look back again, we have other paper types in here. Let's see, we have museum white, museum black, photo luster paper, okay, and photo rag texture paper. So these are just papers that will have all the options open for them. It can have glass, it can have matte, it can have frame. And so once you've created the mediums for the different paper types you want to offer, then we would go into photo print tools, and we would create the papers that will be offered in the new framing tool. So if we look in here and we go to, let's say, just photo luster and click edit, you can see it's set up as photo luster. URL doesn't really matter. You can have a description if you want, and then this will be an information pop-up for that photo paper type. And then you would select the medium that this is associated to. So photo luster, you would associate this to your medium of photo luster. You're not going to set your minimum DPI here, so ignore that. But then you would click save, and that way when you create a size now, we go to photo print sizes and we click on sizes, you would be able to create a new size. And the first thing is I'm going to show you is how to create. So let's say we're going to create one for framing a photo. Okay, so we're going to check frames here because that's the style that we created, that is frames. The paper type, you can select multiple, so you could put photo luster, rag, and different types that you have. Now let's say for this one we wanted to offer a range of anywhere from 8x8 up to 20x20. So what you're going to do is in the width range start, you would just put in your 8, and then width range end is 20, and then the height range start is 8, and then the range end is 20, and then this one in the middle means it's going to go 1 inch in 1 inch intervals. So it'll be, it'll have like an 8x10, an 8x11, an 8x12, an 8x13, 8x14, and then it'll go up to a 9x8, 9. It's going to be a 1 inch difference if this step. If we change the step to 0.5, then it's going to be a 1/2 inch step for each option in the drop down for sizes. So then we would go down here, and you can have you can have it be an additional set price here. You can have an additional per square inch price here. So you could actually put your per square inch price in here if you have a range for the different mediums that you want to offer this for. And then at the bottom you would just click save, and that size would show up and be available when they go into this style with these paper types. So if we go in and let's say we wanted to just have a set size of 8 by 10. So what we would do is we would leave this at 0, and this would stay 1, and this would be a starting width range of 8, and then we would have the starting height is 20, and this would stay 0. So now this is going, oops, no, 10, sorry. So now this is going to be a fixed size of 8 by 10, and if we had checked to show both orientations, then it would show up as 10 by 8 as well. So here you would have most likely have a set price. So you would just have a flat price for each one of the mediums. So if we were offering it in Photo Luster for $12 and Photo Rag for $14, and then you could save this, and so it would show in this style with these papers, it will show 8 by 10 or 10 by 8 with these prices for each one of those papers. So you would save that, and then that would be available. So that's kind of how you handle sizes. That's how you handle a set size or a range of sizes. The last thing that I'm going to show you in here is your mat settings. So because we offer mats for the framed products, you need to set up the rules for the mats. So for here, this is just an admin name that we're calling this mat setup is for photos and frames. And then you would have a print size width of 2, height of 2, to up to 50. So this will do offer mats for anything from 2 inches up to 50 inches. Of course, you would most likely need to change this to a 32 by 40 or whatever your standard size mats are. And then you would select which types of products you want to offer this mat setting for, and frames is the key one, but we also have print on demand and framer, but mainly it would be for frames if we wanted to offer this for frames. And then you would select the paper types that you're going to offer, those that will have the matte option to them. So of course you're not going to select any canvas in here because canvas doesn't have any mattes. So then you would copy what you had on the style page where we have the top mat that's 2 inches, and then you have it going in increments of 1/4 inch, so it would go from 1 inch to 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, so on. And then for the second mat reveal, the default is going to be 0.25, and it goes in increments of an 1/8 of an inch. So you always want to check to show the reveal in the in the framer so people can see where they're at and what they're going up to and down to. And then you would click save, and now that matte option will show up and be available for when you're in frames. And we'll go back here. We'll click on frames, and you can see the result of all of these items. If you just uploaded a photo, you can go in here and the previous images will be there. And here we have frames, which it only has one paper type associated to it, and then here's your sizes that you can offer. And like I said, you have a drop down, and because of the resolution of this image, it's only showing so many sizes because it's not a very high resolution image. And then you would select your frame and put a frame on it, and then you'll see the matte option. Button scroll to matte, so you can put a matte on it. And if I want to change the top matte, and we can have a second matte, and we have a drop down for glass, and then here's your total, and then you can just add it to the cart. And if you needed to swap out the image, or if you wanted to crop the image or rotate it or zoom in, then you can do that with these options down here. So that is how you set up the new framing tool. This has just been a demonstration of setting it up for photo prints. You create a whole new group and do the same thing for mirrors and for cork board or different boards, and create your different groups, and then create the styles that are associated with that group. And it's done the same way. So I hope this helps you. If not, just give us a ring and we'll walk you through it. Thank you and have a great day.